Friends, Romans, countrymen, Natasha here, welcome you back to Firefly Studios on our YouTube channel. This week we return to Rome for our first ever look at the Romans Age of Caesar roadmap. This will be the first installment in a mini-series exclusive to our YouTube channel where each episode will go through each major update of Romans Age of Caesar. So today I have enlisted the help of Ben, our producer here at Firefly Studios. Ben is going to be talking with us about Romans Age of Caesar, the roadmap, and specifically Combat 2.0. How are you, Ben?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to talking about the roadmap.
So before we get into the roadmap itself, I just want to point out that most people who watch our YouTube videos are not actually subscribed. So if you want to keep up to date on all the Romans Age of Caesar news, make sure to subscribe, press the little button. I don't know where I should be pointing, but here, maybe, there. And make sure to have the notifications on. So to help us out today, Ben, we've printed off a wonderful copy of the Romans Age of Caesar roadmap.
Very nice.
To give us some visual aid for what we're actually talking about. So as you can see, the first update was Barbarian Stronghold, and the second one is Combat 2.0, which we're going to be talking about today.
The main thing with Combat 2.0 is for us to look at all things combat with Romans and ensure that they're balanced, ensure that they're fun, and ensure that they work with all of the other updates that we have planned in the future. And then realistically, although it's Combat 2.0, one of the biggest additions is going to be a redesigned Empire Map.
Oh, cool.
So that whole screen has been completely redone. We've updated the camera, all of the sprites, how you interact with it, sending out like attacks, moving economy around the map and stuff like that. All of that's been revised and it looks fantastic and it feels really good. We've actually taken a lot of pointers from Google Earth.
Oh, cool.
Because of the way that interacts and like going around, we've tipped that into our experience and yeah.
Because the Empire Map's been one of the most exciting parts of Romans, is that right?
It's like the backbone of everything.
Yeah.
So, you know, you build up your city, but your kind of control over the empire is essentially what's pushing you forward. You know, you can have the best city, but if your city's not got any control on the map, you've got no glory. You're not controlling resources, you're not moving the economy around. And actually, control of the Empire Map will become even more important when we go on to our later updates as well. The Barbarian Scourge in Romans is probably the biggest thing that you're going to be facing on a regular basis. So we wanted to make sure that that process is fun. So to do that, we've enlisted a couple of extra tactical powers. So there's Sabotage, which you can now use to stop ranged attacks from buildings and units. Another one that we've done in terms of tactical powers that I personally really like and think has completely changed the way that Romans combat works is that tactical deployment, which you would originally use to pick a location and all of your units would kind of go to that location. We've now separated that into specific deployment types.
Oh, okay.
So instead of just all of your units gunning for this one flag, now you can deploy an infantry deployment, a missile deployment, and a cavalry deployment, and they all, basically it means you've got more control over where your units are going on the map. So the players have a lot more agency in the outcome of a battle, which obviously makes it a lot more fun.
Because whenever I was playing it and I had archers and they were running towards enemies, I was like, no, you're going too close.
Yeah, archers running at walls was kind of the key thing that we were like, no, we've got to change this.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of player feedback echoed exactly that, so that's what we've looked into. And yeah, like I said, made a lot of balance changes and revisions that are designed there to make sure that, you know, these huts meet the kind of average level that players are going to be facing them at. And on the back of that, which we thought was super important, was that now that these units have a purpose, have a meaning, have a use in the field, you need to know about what their utility is. But yeah, so now we're going to be actually outing all that information on the cards of each unit type. So you can flick that over, you get a lot more information on the unit, its special abilities, because units have always had special abilities, but they haven't been outwardly visible.
Right.
For example, legionaries use a shield lift ability. So when there's incoming missile damage, they'll lift their shield up to defend themselves from it, which has had a buff as well. So it's stuff like that that, you know, we want to expose and want people to know about, and essentially just make sure that they want to use all of the units instead of just, you know, 5 lots of legionaries. You know, we want people to feel like they want to take cavalry, you know, as a backup.
Each has like some sort of strategical point.
100%. That like going into it, that was our main focus with the battles, was to make sure that each unit had its battlefield role and actually made a difference when you deployed it. And that's where you're going to want to talk. You want to discuss tactics with other players and stuff. We're trying to bring back that co-op development. Okay. Definitely. The opposite of co-op is just being against each other. And although we wanted to focus mainly on PvE, which is the bulk of what people are going to be doing day to day, we still had to look at balancing PvP. Yeah. Because we're making these changes to the units, so PvP had to be looked at as well for balance reasons. And that led us to kind of snowball, and we ended up reworking a lot of how the forts work. Oh, okay. The same thing, we're using it internally and we're like, it doesn't feel like, we can make that better. So yeah, the forts have now had quite an overhaul as well. Just how you build them and how they units interact. So a lot of the units will have defense capabilities. And PvP is going to be that kind of long-term backbone. So we wanted to make sure that was just as fun.
Well, that all sounds really cool, and Combat 2.0 should be available to play from today?
Yep.
Brilliant, so there's no better time than now to sign up. All you have to do is go on to playromans.com. To finish, firstly I want to thank Ben for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
I know that I personally can't wait to get stuck into Combat 2.0 and crush my enemies. And of course, if you want to catch our future episodes on the Romans roadmap, then you'll want to make sure that you are subscribed with notifications on. Next time we're going to be tackling the Senate. See you next time.